Speciesism. What is that? For me, it's a personal journey, a journey of discovery. Discovering that humans are a really stupid species. You didn't expect that probably. You did not see that coming. Nope, neither did I. Let me take you back many, many years, yes, again, to when I adopted two Quaker parrots. I had been around animals for a long time, but I didn't see them as people. I didn't see them as persons, as individuals. Well, to some degree, but not the way I do these days. I have these two birds. I've emigrated with them, and I have shifts at a law firm, which means that I need to leave at a certain point in the day. And that means that my birds, who are normally out of their cage, need to go into their cage for their own safety. Also because I had a cat as well. One day, to my utter surprise, they started going into their cage all by themselves, just before I was about to make them go into their cage. They had figured out that when I put on my watch and put on my shoes or whatever else I did, I was about to leave and they needed to go into their cage. And they decided on their own, well, let's help her and let's go into the cage before she makes us go into the cage. That was the first time I thought, holy crap, these animals are really thinking. Then there was a time many years later when one of them was pretty seriously ill. And I had heard that aloe vera juice could be really helpful, but it tastes rather yucky. So I have some aloe vera juice in a little dish, and I'm talking to one of the birds, explaining to her that it's really good, and I asked her to take a little sip, because maybe if she takes a little sip, the other bird will also drink, because it's going to be really, really good for the other bird. Not thinking seriously that this bird is going to understand me. But to my utter surprise, I see the other bird watching me very intently, suddenly stepping forward and starting to drink the aloe vera juice as if her life depended on it. I don't know how they do that, but they do that. There's been another occasion at which I joked, if you don't shut up, I'm going to pluck you and put you in the... Yes, that's punishment. From the heavens above. I'm going to pluck you and put you in the soup. And I have never, ever dared to make such a silly joke anymore, because it's got through to them. I don't know how birds do that. I don't know how they do that, how they do it, how they understand our language so much better than we understand theirs. I don't know how it's possible that birds out in the streets recognize us humans so much better than we recognize them. Unless they have very specific markings, we usually just see a bird. We don't necessarily see that specific bird. Eventually one of these two birds was left, and there came a day on which I apologized to her and said to her, you two must have despaired, you two must have wondered when I was ever going to get it. That you guys are smart and that you can think on your own. And she said nothing, but she looked at me, and the look she gave me, I wish I could put it into words. It was something of a mix of gratitude and smugness and also immense patience. Animals, non-human animals, have an immense amount of patience for us humans, because they understand that we are rather limited. And this has made me realize that we should listen more to non-human animals. If you look at the history of the planet, then you'll notice that birds have been around much, 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 much longer than humans. They haven't wrecked the planet. They have knowledge. They have built up an immense body of knowledge that some people may laugh about, this idea of birds, non-human animals, having knowledge, because it's not in books, because it's not expressed as human speech or human written language. But they have built up an enormous body of knowledge that we should be able to access one way or another, because we can learn from other species. Let me tell you a little bit more. What I've also noticed over the years was that these two birds looked out for the cats. I had 2 cats when I got these 2 birds. And there have been occasions when they made a lot of noise because they thought I might be doing something really bad to the cats. Say, when one of them needed medications, something like that. There's also been a later occasion at which one of my birds, the remaining bird, was really concerned about the cat that I still had, my 3rd cat. Because she was seriously ill at that point. She was becoming really ill and I hadn't realized that. But my bird knew that. If I come across as a little dopey, yes, I am a little dopey today. My sinuses have been bothering my allergy. Whoops. Yes, I am a little dopey. My sinuses have been bothering me a little bit. And I don't know if you've ever had any sinus problems, but you can feel a bit dopey, a bit wobbly. What I actually had 2 days ago was a lot of crackling in this ear. It was really, really hilarious, actually. All I had to do was this, just pull the skin, and things would start crackling inside. And doing this and doing that would make it crackle too. That started some time ago already. And I looked into it, and it's the tube of Eustachius that is a little bit, was a little bit congested, I guess you should say.